Suffering means you're chosen, not forgotten, not cursed, chosen. Most people run from pain. They call it bad luck, misfortune, or punishment. But what if it's none of those things? What if your suffering is a sign that something greater is being built inside of you? Look back. Really look. The strongest people you've ever admired, they weren't shaped by ease. They were forged in fire, in loneliness, in failure, in silence. They cried when no one could hear. They kept walking when no one believed. And they kept building when nothing around them made sense. Why? Because suffering was never a prison. It was preparation. You're not going through this because you're weak. You're going through this because you're being trusted with weight that others could never carry. You're being refined, molded, hardened. Every hardship is chiseling away the unnecessary. Every heartbreak is making space for something deeper. Every closed door is a redirection, not a rejection. You were never meant to have a normal life. You were meant to have a meaningful one. And meaningful lives are not handed out. They are carved from pain, doubt, and perseverance. So the next time life breaks you, don't ask, why me? Ask, what is this building in me? Because the suffering you feel today is the strength the world will see tomorrow. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. You're not being buried. You're being planted. Suffering means you're chosen. Act like it. Pain is not punishment. It's preparation. Think of a seed buried in darkness. It's not being punished. It's being placed exactly where it needs to be to grow. The pressure, the soil, the cold. It all feels like too much until it breaks open and becomes something alive. In life, when you're facing failure after failure, when you're alone, overlooked, or misunderstood, it's easy to think life is against you. But maybe life is getting you ready for more than you asked for. Maybe the weight is making you stronger. Gold doesn't shine until it's burned. Diamonds don't form without pressure. Neither will you. True strength is forged in solitude, failure, and perseverance. Not when you're applauded, but when no one's watching. When you're sitting alone at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering if it's all worth it, that's when real power begins. Strength doesn't come from comfort. It comes from showing up when everything in you says quit. Think of the man who wakes up at 5 a.m. to chase his dream before a 10-hour shift. Think of the woman who rebuilds herself quietly after heartbreak with no one cheering her on. They are not weak. They are becoming unbreakable silently. Day by day, the most meaningful lives are built, not handed out. Nobody wakes up successful. Nobody stumbles into greatness. It's earned in silence and sweat, in days when everything goes wrong, but you keep going anyway. Think of the man who builds his body rep by rep when no one's watching. Think of the student who studies while others sleep because he sees a future they don't. The world gives applause to the finished product, but it never sees the nights of doubt, the sacrifices, the years of grinding. You don't find purpose. You create it, one disciplined decision at a time. Every single day, every struggle has a purpose. It's carving something greater inside you. Pain is not pointless. It's a sculptor shaping your soul. Think of a blade being sharpened. It must be scraped, struck, and refined before it can cut through anything. Life does the same to you. When you lose, when you fail, when you're rejected, it's not the end. It's a beginning in disguise. The athlete who trains after defeat becomes unbeatable. The worker who's overlooked today becomes the leader tomorrow. Life cuts deepest where it plans to grow you the most. Struggle isn't in your way. It is the way. You're not alone. You're chosen, and that comes with weight, but also destiny. Chosen ones don't have easy lives. They have meaningful ones. You ever wonder why your path is heavier than others? Why you're tested more, stretched more, pushed further? It's because you were never meant to blend in. Think of the soldier in training, carrying more weight than the rest, not because he's weak, but because he's being prepared for a greater mission. Every delay, every betrayal, every storm, it's not to break you, it's to build you. You were never abandoned. You were set apart for something higher. You've been through the fire not to burn, but to rise. The pain you carry is proof you're still fighting, and fighters are the ones who change the world. Storms don't come to destroy you. They come to clear your path. Don't just survive, transform. Don't just endure, evolve. Lions aren't born in comfort, they're born in chaos. Every scar is a story, every setback a setup for something greater. Remember, the darkest nights produce the brightest stars. Fall 7 times, stand up 8. Your struggle is your strength, your wounds are your wisdom. This is not the end. It's the making of you.